If you look at the soldiers of the Red Army and the Wehrmacht of the times, Great Patriotic War, one gets the impression that in those days camouflage did not exist at all. In fact, there was camouflage clothing, but most of the soldiers did not rely on it. Let's see why it happened and who still wore a spotted uniform. In fact, the claim that soldiers did not wear camouflage during World War II is fundamentally wrong. Camouflage uniform was in all the armies of the world. However, its prevalence was much lower than today, and for good reason. In fact, camouflage uniforms appeared before the First World War. I hope you enjoyed my videos. As you know, I still live in Ukraine with my cat and everything is not so smooth here, but my pet and I believe that everything will be fine. If you want to treat her to delicious cat food, you can find details for donation in the description. But they began to use it en masse only in the interwar period, but the production of camouflage in those days was a rather complicated process. The spotted form in most cases relied only on specialists. In the Soviet Union, camouflage and camouflage capes were worn by sappers, snipers, scouts, border guards. The beginning of the war, the most common was the ombre pattern, developed back in 1935. It was available in the colors of summer, spring, autumn, desert, mountains, and in winter, white camouflage robes were used in the army. In 1942, a new camouflage suit with a pattern appeared in the Red Army, deciduous forest, and in 1944 Pommer camouflage. The latter was available in 4 colors for each season of the year. As before, such coats relied on selected scouts, snipers, and sappers. The rest of the soldiers were supposed to have a tunic. The situation was similar in Germany. The first camouflage was put into service in 1931. The most popular element of the camouflage uniform was the cape, which was widely used in the German troops. In 1938, a camouflage suit and helmet cover for snipers was developed in Germany. They were used throughout the war, but the most widely used camouflage in Germany was not at all Wehrmacht soldiers and the fighters of the Waffen-SS. For these formations, the best camouflage uniform was developed. At the same time, at the beginning of the war, the command of the Third Reich assumed that by 1945 absolutely all troops will be wearing camouflage uniforms. However, camouflage in Germany was worn by the same specialists: snipers, scouts, paratroopers, sappers, anti-partisan formations. Serious restrictions on the production of camouflage in Germany imposed a lack of high-quality cotton fabric. The requests of the SS and the Wehrmacht were not carried out, and in 1943, cotton stopped coming to Germany altogether. As a result, camouflage suits began to be sewn from cotton. You can know